know what time it is? It's time for Steel Sharpens Steel. I'm Tom Cunningham.
I'm Joy Stevens.
And I am Sharon Letman Hicks.
And I'm Chuck Hobbs, who's too busy doing my pie reunion to come onto the show on time.
That wasn't it. And I'm Chuck Hobbs. I'm when I'm not sleeping in the middle of my chair, I'm usually like out getting crunk with the bros. So that's what's happening.
That's what's happening tonight.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. As always, hello, Harry. Hello, Anthony. Favorite Sharpies of Sharpiness.
Yes. And just real quickly, we'd like to let you know that today's show is brought to you by white privilege. White privilege is a precious American natural resource that has been dwindling in the previous years, and we are now seeing it come to potentially the end of its usefulness. So we urge you to run out and snap up a can of white privilege before it becomes a collector's item or too bitter to drink. White privilege eroding like a star in the sky.
Lord,
and if you are going to be a consumer of white privilege, please make sure that you pay your monthly white privilege bill, or you might find yourself with some pretty awful side effects, like finally being held accountable for your awful murder that the entire world watched you perpetuate or perpetrate. As long as it ends with trait, I think.
Right.
Welcome to Steel Sharpens Steel. Obviously, the big story of the week is a former cop and eternal douchebag named Derek Chauvin, who got some accountability and his just desserts in three convictions in his officially murder of George Floyd. Joy, you're nodding.
Yes.
What do you have to say about this sequence of it? Oh, Orange is the new douchebag.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, now I got to do it again. Okay, so surprisingly enough, blue is the new black.
Well.
Go on, Jill. Right. Tell that talk dude I say, hey, when you see him.
Do not pass go. Do not pass the commissary.
Don't pass nobody. I don't know where they could put them. They've done such a good job of incarcerating black men, black and brown people over the last 40 some odd years, actually the last 400 some odd years, that there's nowhere he could go where people haven't watched this, know about it, and just looking at him like yeah, when you get in here, son, it's on and popping. And I'm here for it.
Yeah, see that dude who's standing behind the tree with his tag still on his jacket that he needs to return to Dillard's later. That's how all the brothers in jail are looking at you, Derek. Like
that whole
hate to bust your bubble, but he will not be in general population.
But I mean, where is he gonna go? Unless it's a federal prison, he ain't gonna get away from black people. They're gonna have to keep him isolated.
I mean, I'd be happy to have him in the shoe. Go on ahead, be in the shoe. Go crazy. I'm here for it.
Maybe he makes it that long.
Well, see, there's that part. Watch out for the ground glass in your grits, brother.
Yes, I will be selling cans of white privilege out the trunk of my car tomorrow. It may taste like Sprite, but just give it a minute and let it get in there, and then you'll be good. Trust me. Don't worry about what it say on the can.
Actually, it might taste like 17-year-old diet Sprite because as that artificial sweetener degrades,
oh my Lord Jesus,
it's really disgusting. As a person who has to drink don't drink diet soda even a week after the date that is printed on the bottom of that can, because it turns from a delicious faux sugary treat into chemical
poison.
Warfare. I mean, girl, I must warn you. Please don't drink that Sprite at the date. Yeah, no, it's terrible.
Oh wait, Olu asks, is solitary so bad? Yes, actually, solitary confinement has been put forward as a form of psychological torture.
Yes, super bad.
Which, like CJ says, that is why she thinks, he will try to kill himself. They're gonna really have to put him on suicide watch. If for no other reason, then I don't think he's man enough to withstand his sentence, whatever it may be. It could be 40 years, it could be 4 months. I don't think he can take it.
Yeah, they need to put him in the Epstein Bland wing of whatever facility he's in, and just make sure the cameras are broke.
Well, body cameras and everything else get turned off all the goddamn time. So I'm sure we can knock off a couple of cameras. You know what? I'm gonna stop plotting this dude downfall, because they'll be pulling this up as evidence if something happens to him. I'm way in my house in Georgia.
I was about to say, I am all the way in California. I ain't got no juice in Minnesota for nothing. Olu says he wants us to just to be absolutely sure. He was saying that solitary is not so bad for him. He deserves worse. So
yes,
that was not consideration. That was degradation. So we got you, Olu.
Point.
We with you now. So you're from the real Olu, Olu Howard. Olu Hampton is a perpetrator. We saw some very interesting things. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I was literally, when I saw the announcement, we shared a little thing in our little message group, and I was on tenterhooks starting at 3:30 or 1:30 my time, whatever. And I was like, oh, they haven't announced anything yet. Oh, it's 1:37. Oh, it's 1:42. Oh, it's 1:56. Oh, it's 1:59.
Oh, you're on West Coast. I'm like,
yeah, I'm on the West Coast. And so I was just like, why, what is going on? Why haven't they done anything? And then the notorious white bread judge got up in his robe and he read all that gobbledygook. Didn't nobody want to hear anything but guilty? And you're talking about,
he got to it pretty quick.
Well, eventually, I'm just saying, on the first charge of Penal Code 12.1292423.
Sorry, it's not reality TV.
I understand. I was just waiting for guilty. Can we get to guilty, please?
Well, I gave you the guilty about 3-4 weeks ago. I'm going to say it. I told y'all so.
Let's be clear.
Let me be clear from day one.
When I saw that they had a unanimous verdict in
48 hours,
than 10 hours of deliberation, I said, oh no, that's not good news. I know his attorney was like, yes, so
yes, Harry, sentencing where I'm concerned.
I mean, there was no pause. There was no, we've got one person who's confused. No. They just went through it. They checked the boxes. And consider this. It was 9 minutes and 26 seconds, almost 10 minutes to murder that man, and less than 10 hours to convict his murderer.
Yeah. Like
justice.
Right. But Harry said something. I'll put it back up. Harry said he's concerned that the sentences will run concurrently and not consecutively. I'm worried about that too. And I also think, and again, I am wildly speculating because I don't know none of these people, but I also think that as part of what had that jury deliberated for so long, because some people in that room was like, nah, son, we ain't gonna give that dude a chance to do 3rd-degree manslaughter and get off on 4 years plus, good behavior and parole. Now, we've given him everything. And I think they gave him all charges so that even if he does consecutive, concurrently, there's still going to be some minimums in there that he's going to have to.
Yeah, it can probably, I think on the low side, it would be, there's discretion. There's always discretion. Yeah. So the lowest minimum on the toughest charge is 12 something years. And the maximum on that charge is 30 years. So if you say maximum on the first one and then the other two are concurrent, it's still between 30 and 40 years, of course, with the possibility of parole and and first offense and But the point is that it may be his first offense, but this first offense was so depraved and everybody watched how depraved it was, and he is clearly...
You don't get no leniency for murder.
That's what I'm saying. He's
right. His first offense in murder. He got 3 charges. He got 3 offenses.
Right.
This is not his first offense.
Oh, it absolutely isn't.
This is the first time he ever abused a suspect, beat up somebody, overextended his power, excessive use of force. He's been doing this. He's been doing this for a long time. You don't get the gumption, the audacity, which apparently is free online right now. You don't get the audacity to kneel on somebody's neck and then put your hands in your pockets and look at the camera like, and what? You don't get that kind of bravado your first time out. He's been doing this. He just
Does anybody have any history on the judge?
I hear
no,
people,
but I don't like him.
Yeah, people slandering the judge a little bit. The people are saying that the judge might be, shall we say, 800 thread count sheet adjacent in terms of some of his rulings.
Yes.
But I don't know that to be true. I just know that that's what people have been saying, and it's tricky.
Yeah,
it's tricky for sure.
Maybe.
Hopefully he can read the tea leaves. If he is, well, we are to assume that he's a native of that state and has enough judiciary sense to realize how many people spoke out against that their copper.
Yeah, honestly, this is one of those situations, and people are saying this is one of the very first times a cop. Now, bear in mind, in that same state, if I believe it was that same state, the white woman who was killed by a black cop.
By a black Somalian cop, yes.
Right. There wasn't anywhere near the foo-fa-ra on that one. It was like, march that dude to the jail.
And he got 20 years for that.
Right. And so here we go. And that wasn't even on camera.
Right. And he was actually startled.
Oh, yeah. She looked
that double standard. I can't even right now.
This earth would have shook if it would have went any other way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No.
I'm very content. But this was a moment. So the beautiful thing is, all of the genies are out of the bottle. Black America ain't taking it no more. Sure. We not sitting silent on misdeeds.
Sure ain't.
I love how all the governors are scrambling right now, making a very clear overtures on the need to reform police penalty codes and conduct codes and just public, what is it called? Legal lynchings. They're going out their way to scrub their systems because they also are suffer the consequences when somebody, I think it was you, Joy, that put in earlier talking about what somebody was saying, no more looting, no more this. I'm like, sweetie, when there's justice, there's peace. When there's no justice, there's no peace.
Yeah, Miss Tommy Lauren. Yeah, Miss Tommy Lauren, you need to sit what is left of your narrow behind down in about 742 seats with your trash talk. Ooh.
Right. She's not even a good trash talker. I assume there'll be peace. Now, yes, there'll be peace. You know why? Because justice was served in this instance. But if you cut up tomorrow, we'll be back tomorrow. How about that?
Sure.
Do something else. See if we don't come back out in the streets.
Oh Lord, hold on.
Time is broken. It's our show now, Sharon. Let's do it.
Child, I broke it because he needs to learn how to rotate. Subtlety. So, anywho, don't you love our productions? And he still didn't get it. That's why he gonna freeze up again.
No, I got it.
Sharon got mind control over you.
Yeah, it was my second.
You notice how quiet and tamed I am thus far.
You are very.
I'm
tame.
enjoying.
It's that blue screen behind you. It's modulating you. Do something else. Soon come. That's right.
Soon come.
Soon come. Soon come.
I got my little African puff sleeves on and everything.
I love the sleeves, and you're complimenting my screen.
Yeah, that is awesome. Look at y'all with your little color coordination.
We are feeling ourselves.
So while we were seeing Derek Chauvin, and I'm going to throw to you on this because I know, Sharon, that the social justice aspect of your spirit has been screaming all week. There was not a day during the Chauvin trial that a person was not killed in police custody. So while Black folks were finally exhaling and hearts were unclenching and throats were becoming unclogged, we still have to deal with the fact that during the biggest case of state-sanctioned killing of Black persons, those persons were still being killed every single day, even in Minnesota. And not only were they being killed in Minnesota, there were some 6F people who weren't being killed by cops in violent situations involving vehicles and other deadly things.
Mm.
And yet, those lives, there was no question that there was going to be any weapon.
They actually said,
not a question.
Do we have that video? I don't know if we got a chance to get it in there, but we'll show it later if we don't have it. But there's a video of the cops getting dragged on the side of a white pickup truck or SUV or whatever. The guy is hitting them with hammers. He is throwing things. He rammed the cops' cars, and they're all just like, whoa, sir, calm down, calm down. All this he gets to do, all of this violence against the police force. But because his skin is white, they actually came out and said, we just wanted to make sure everybody made it home safe.
Including the suspect.
Sure, that the
suspect. I had to go in and cut and paste that paragraph. I just could not stomach the way this thing is playing out. It's just like January 6th, and it's so unacceptable in the disparities in this country and overt. I mean, just overt discrimination. I got in a discussion with somebody talking about, they don't think that we're human. And we are living our ancestors' war. Okay. They're a modern day version of everything that they sacrificed for us. And I am so proud. You see the foolishness going on in Arizona. They're doing another recount, which we know they done went to the rural counties and stuffed the ballots, and they about to start some more foolishness because they are out of control. They are out of control. When I think about how calm our community was, but not over celebrating. Calm, we changed justice to accountability. They got justice for George Floyd's family. And, the accountability of, a trial, right? We got to be here for the long haul for equal justice under the law. Because the overtness, that episode with the dragging, but look at all the mass murders in 2021.
Yeah.
If dude ain't kill himself, he in jail.
FedEx, you talk about.
They ain't any of them. This what are you talking about? There's been 45, Right. So, in just the last month. But if these people, I'm still having flashes of Rittenhouse standing in the middle of a riot and social unrest, standing there, loaded weapon, while they just walking by. But you're going to tell me, as someone who grew up, I don't know how many people ain't never seen a front yard brawl, that somebody couldn't just walk behind sister, grab her arm midair, versus thinking that the only solution is to shoot.
Right. So you can avoid shooting when a truck is smashing into your car, but you can't avoid shooting after you go, hey, hey, and then pop, pop, pop. That's the next thing. That's all you
times. Pop.
And that woman, police officer in the truck situation, she had a full-on police assault rifle drawn. Didn't try to shoot out near a tire. And they will try to shoot out a tire. They won't try to shoot a leg, but they will try to shoot out a tire in a truck or in some other way damage the truck. But I guess the police officer was on the riding board of the truck, so they didn't want to risk that. Let's take a page out of Chuck's book because we're not sure when he's going to be able to join us. But let's be clear. In the social media era, more people were concerned about videotaping that fight than stopping that fight. Before the police were even called, why didn't you walk up behind that young girl and grab her and get the knife out of her hand and sit both of those children on the ground and say, chill out?
Apparently, one of them, the one in the pink outfit, was a grown woman, like 28 years old.
God damn.
Yeah. So I am repeating unverified information. Like I don't know. the ins and outs of it. But from what I've been gleaning and what I understand, the young girl that was killed was in foster care.
Right.
And the foster mother called these other girls to come jump her.
What?
So foster mother was in on it. And these were women these were young girls, women, grown women that she had fostered before and maintained some kind of relationship with, and like brought them back to jump this young girl. For why, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of all of it, but that's what I've caught in a couple different places. And so part of the reason potentially that nobody stopped the fight is because they wanted to see what would happen. I don't really understand. And that's another reason that I think is, again, it's that juxtaposition. Everybody there could have done something, stopped something, pushed them apart. Hey, cut it out. Put one in the house, push one back down the street, whatever. They could have done any of that. But the titillation of watching two girls fight is always something, that people with low entertainment threshold want to watch, right? But having the cops come into it, nobody really expected the cops to pull a gun and shoot. They expected the cops to break it up, and they were going to watch until it happened. And then, because her father was right there, when she got shot, you hear him say, "I know you didn't just shoot my baby girl." Well, if you hear and your daughter's in a fight, what you doing?
Right.
Why are you still out? And first of all, his daughter is dead. I do not want to add to his pain by overemphasizing what he could have done, because people have different thoughts and things, and I don't want to be one to add on to what he's going through. But at the same time, I do not know enough to figure out why it was allowed to happen for so long. If I see people getting heated if I see grown people getting heated in my building, I might not get involved, but I will be like, "Excuse me, what's happening here?" Because I ain't trying to step between two grown men, but I will be like, "I see what's happening here, and we have a police officer on site. Would you like me to call him?" And then that's usually enough to back people down, So I don't know. I don't know.
Some people say the young lady with the knife is the one that called the police. So, my thing
there's a lot of different stories out.
Yeah. My thing is, again, when you got Law and Order doing an episode on police de-escalation training, that was this week's episode. Okay. And they took you through the one side wanting to move in quick to shoot the person. The other side, like, no, there's a process. It took all night. I'm a marathon Law and Order watcher, and they believe in immediate necessity of what's going on in society. But the whole conversation, this war on Black people, let's not forget Tamir Rice. Let's not forget, put your weapon down. You'll forget it because they never say it anymore. Put your weapon down. Okay. Even homegirl that was like, "I'm about to tase you. I'm about to tase you," and you shoot him. What police conduct, needs to be the issue in a serious way. Not just there is no attempt at de-escalation on our behalf. There's
one better. The people that are now
shooting our babies. You're literally shooting our babies without no intervention, no desire to de-escalate, no desire to acknowledge their humanity.
That's why some of them joined the force. And so if you think about, again, going all the way back to when, the police forces have always been racist, but going back to modern times, they started purposefully infiltrating police forces in the late 1980s, 1990s. The report that came out in 2006 by the FBI was already about stuff that had been happening for 15 plus years. So they've been there long enough to now be like the woman with the taser that shot the guy. She's like the head of the police union or something. So they're in positions of power and have always had a subhuman view of Black and brown people. And they hire people like them. And they hire folks who can't wait to bust a cap in any Black person moving because they got mad because a Black dude beat them in a track race when they was in the 3rd grade, and they've been holding grudges their whole life. Yes, Tom.
She is also a lead trainer.
And she's the lead trainer. So you telling me the lead trainer,
she knows the difference between the shape and feel and weight and color of a gun versus a taser, which is clearly visible on her body cam.
Even
which
Pat
means it's in her
Robinson.
line of sight. That's what I'm
Pat
saying.
Robinson's 109-year-old tail was out here like, this is complete. He had a gun and a taser. Like, there's no way. There's no way she didn't know that. Pat freaking Robertson is like, nah, bro, I can't ride with y'all no more. This is ridiculous.
I mean, it is what it is. There was a guy who was being interviewed. I'm not sure if it was the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers, but one of those insurrectionists was on TV and got caught saying the quiet part out loud, saying, we've got people in police forces across the country and they're training us. Like, it just seems to me, there was a meme that said, if you have 3,800 good cops and 12 bad cops, and none of the 3,800 turn in the 12, you've got 3,812 bad cops.
Absolutely.
I don't understand why, just like a standard question starting tomorrow, are you a member of any paramilitary forces outside of your work, or have you ever subscribed to a white nationalist, alt-right, white supremacist Facebook page or other social media group? Just a question. And if you're caught lying, then you get fired. And if you're caught telling the truth, you get fired or disciplined or whatever. But why isn't that like a day one question? So
I
it
really
can
don't
be on
understand.
record.
Well, I don't even have the time. I honestly, the entire understanding of how they recruit, what they look for, what they exclude, how they manage to weed out all of the black candidates when they are looking for police, and then we'll turn around and say we have to take these, rabble-rousing rednecks because there's no one else that wants to be a cop and all this other stuff. So they take the dregs when they want to, because they don't have to. We got enough cops, but they keep hiring them, and they entice them. I remember seeing a video. It was off of a larger piece I think John Oliver was doing around the over militarization of local police forces. And it was a rural county, and their recruitment video was showing them like doing donuts in a tank. Why do you need a tank in a rural town in America? You don't need a military tank, but that military surplus that started being funneled into police forces, I want to say in the 90s or the early 2000s. Now, if I get ice cream from the store, eventually I'm going to eat it because I want it. And so if the cops have an overabundance of guns that they look at as toys, eventually they're going to use them because they want to. And that's what we're living with right now. And I think 46 people died in the 30 days leading up to the verdict of Derek Chauvin's trial. And 46 people in 30 days, half of them were white. And this gets me to my next point. So white people have been thinking that bad things only happen to black people because that is what the government and the media have conspired to make them believe. So they will stop voting for things that cost money, like social services and healthcare and the social safety net and stuff, because they put a black face on it in the 80s. It used to be everybody was fine with welfare systems and some form of like social safety net until they put a black face on it, and the racism rose up and they said, oh, we don't want to help these N-words, they're lazy and trifling and blah 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 blah. And now you see the same thing in the police force, where people, even we, start to think that cops only kill black people, but half the folks they killed in the last 30 days were not black, and they're going to start seeing it sooner or later. But until it gets to a critical mass where they go, hey, he was white, what happened? No, that's not how you're supposed to treat white people. Until it gets to that point, then people are going to ignore it as a black people problem, like they ignore birth control as a black people problem. They try to ignore COVID as it's only happening to black and brown people. It's not my problem. I don't have to worry or spend money about it, until little Chad shows up, shot, and now Chad is dead, and it's a national outcry. And I want it to be a national outcry. I want them to wake up and realize that the way that we're living is not freedom. Just because you have guns doesn't make you free. It just makes you gun loving, and that's it. And we can do better, but we got to get them to want to do better. Either that or just keep breathing them out of existence. #squirrel.
breeding them out of existence.
It didn't help Dante Wright, though.
It surely did not. It surely did not.
Not at all.
You know, and Alvin makes a good point. The military will weed out the crazies. And where they end up, if they wash out of basic training, they are the front runner for getting into a local police.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. I mean, as many people are against, to me, defund police is the new Black Lives Matter. You know, Black Lives Matter a few years ago became taboo. It became, you know, everybody was running from it and nothing changed. Everything kept going. People stayed the course. Now it's synonymous with the only way. Defund police is going through that. Don't say defund the police. Then it's reform. Why didn't you say reform? And now you got people like, well, wait a minute. You know, where are the public safety officers? Where's this? Where's the social workers? And, you know, the shock effect and the strategy, which will now become much more crystal. Look, we are in 2021. This was supposed to be the savior year. Okay. And it's just as raggedy as 2020 and probably might end up worse because we ain't even talking about COVID no more.
Right. People still die every day.
You know, we just straight up like, well, what exactly is happening? And January 6th was in this year, right? And that investigation ain't going nowhere. And every day they uncover more of the truth, which is really just going to be the petri dish of what's going on in this entire country. Mm-hmm. And it's demonstrating. I mean, I can't get the visual of a little boy at a park with no one around him holding a gun.
Holding a toy gun.
A toy gun. Please. Holding a toy gun. And there wasn't any effort to son, put the gun down. Son, put your hand up. Mm-hmm. If you there wasn't any effort for this baby. 12 years old. My son is 7. I can see 12 very, very easily. And there ain't nothing growing about it.
And once again, I remember when that first happened.
Effort to have a conversation, and I see this 17-year-old killer in the middle of the street standing there like, I just killed a couple people. Does anybody care?
He assumed he was about to get arrested, and then he was like, y'all ain't gonna arrest. Oh, okay. All right, well, I'm gonna go home then.
Because I talk with our boys. I realize white people got to talk with, they have a talk with their sons. Do whatever you do, and then put your hands up. Right. Submit. That's what they teach them.
And tell them your Burger King order.
And give them your food order.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you get sparkling water.
I remember when Tamir Rice's murder first happened, I was riding with a guy that actually I'm still friends with, which ain't a lot of them, from one of my previous jobs. And he very honestly, we were having a conversation. He goes, I really don't understand why don't people just comply? And I almost pulled the car over, but I was driving and we had to get somewhere. So I'm explaining it to him in the car and he's listening. That's why we're still friends. He's listening. And I talked to him about what compliance really means. And I talked to him about what does that really look like? And when you're Black, you can comply and it doesn't matter because they got you out of the car so they could torture you. Like the minute they do this, it's not about compliance. It's about how much humiliation can you put up with before you even cough. Because once you cough, stop resisting. And so we had this whole conversation. Then I started talking to him about Tamir Rice and he said, what? He had never heard of it. Did not know the story.
It didn't get nearly enough attention.
It did not get nearly enough coverage. If you watch Fox News, Fox doesn't cover a third of what really goes on in the rest of the world. And so if you watch Fox News thinking that it's reporting all the information, you never heard of Tamir Rice. Never.
True. Yeah.
And they live in that alternative reality day in and day out. I don't know what you're talking about. I never heard about any of this happening, right?
Joy, I know you pulled. Oh, go ahead, Sharon.
I know it's hard for y'all to hear me down here. But I don't know how to be more clear. So thank you. Thank you. Because you see that, Joy?
I see the hair flowing.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Okay.
Flip.
Just
Flip.
the I just need to be clear. I just need to be clear. Black people, take care of yourselves. Give yourself hugs. Don't be so hard on each other. Stop sweating the small stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have to survive this. We have got to take care of our mental health. We got more marching to do. We got more protesting to do. We got more voting to do. We got more speaking out to do. Because guess what, people? It's working.
Mm-hmm.
We have some nonviolence training to be doing. We've got to teach our babies how to survive this.
How to survive.
And we've got to give a damn about each other. It is reprehensible that we allow ourselves to have to call the police to kill us. Let me say that again. Let me say that again. We've got to do de-escalation. We have got to take these mofos on straight to the ballot box, straight in our neighborhoods, straight to reimagining the police force, straight to reimagining public safety, straight to building our humanity, their humanity. We have got to humanize society of all hues. Do you know there was a 6F mofo that voted against the anti-Asian American bill?
One.
I mean, like I said, one. But just that. Do you know how you said that if there's one,
and
there's 1,300 other ones, there's a complicit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They are trying to show their relevance. They have no strategy. They have no tact. It is just, we want it all. So we're not dealing with civilized society. They want to make us the beast. Okay. Mm-hmm. And when we act right, because you act right, I want you to talk about how peaceful it was, how the solidarity in the street was when actually justice was served in one case.
One.
That we dub accountability. Okay? I'm not going to rewrite the language. Okay? Mm-hmm. I just want universal accountability. I want universal accountability.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, their mission is, as they kill us, what we're supposed to do, because this is what the old school did, and they're still using the old playbook. So they figure they kill us here and they kill us there. At some point, we'll stand down and go back into our shell. They're not used to these new Negroes who actually are educated and can read the laws, and that we are going to the ballot box. We're not going to allow you to undo the law.
Right.
And we actually know our three branches of government.
Some of them
unlike Tommy Tuberville.
I'm going high. And we're
going high.
We're being very intentional
this week.
Let me finish mine, and you can go back and pull out your vape. And so let me be very clear. I'm going the wrong way. Let me be very clear. Let me be very clear. This is a public service announcement for Black people. We must take care of ourselves. Okay. We must take care of our neighbors. We must take care of our babies by whatever means necessary, because this is a war on Black people. I got my first piece of hate mail that I haven't seen. Yeah. Well, it was sent to me from DC. And in it, and it's a chain letter. It was, they sent it to all the Black organizations. And it was in there saying, we're not racist. We don't hate y'all. We are tired of you Negroes. That's what it said. We are tired of y'all. And then they did all their normal tropes about welfare and all this other foolishness. But I read it in between laughing. I had to read how they're talking about it. Y'all want to, basically this is my interpretation. Y'all really trying us to think that y'all equal. We are tired of y'all demanding the rights that y'all are entitled to.
Mm-hmm.
We're tired of your noise that you're making. We're tired of you tearing down your neighborhood and not knowing how to fuck us up properly. So we're going to show you on January 6th. You know, and I mean, every trope in the book was in this letter. But I sat here to say, and y'all got time to send crazy ass letters.
Mm-hmm.
Pay a stamp, put a stamp on it. Just like they got on a whole, that's what, just like Homeboy on his dating service. Y'all need to,
I've been waiting for a chance to show this.
He went on guttermatch.com and laid, it wasn't Match. I don't know the name of it. That's why I said gutter. Mm-hmm. Gutter version of match.com.
So
solicited companionship.
And
his comment card.
I got it here.
Joy.
Go ahead, Joy. Let's get some stuff.
So for those of you who don't know,
respond to it because I ain't done.
Okay. So just real quick, for those of you who don't know, there was a man who was found that was wanted in relation to what happened on January 6th at the Capitol, and he was found on Bumble. So if you don't know what Bumble is, it's another dating app where the women get to choose the man. And so this woman turned him in. Check this out. So a New York man, Robert Chapman, has been charged with entering the Capitol January 6th. They got him from a tip from Bumble, but check it. The screenshot they got is from the girl that he was trying to hook up with. And so you can't read it here, but he says, yes, I was at the Capitol. Yes, I made it all the way into this room. I even did an interview over here. And yes, you know, I was one of those people that stormed the Capitol. She writes back, we are not a match. And then Smooth turned his ass in. Hats off to you, Bumble girl. I'm proud of you. I love it.
Hats off.
We are not a match. That's my favorite thing that happened. Buzz on, son.
Sting.
Right.
So
anybody else thinking about to have, a little white boy summer, just remember things don't always. I'm just saying, don't get out here caught in these streets because white folks is going to jail left and right now, and I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. Go to jail. Go on, see how it is, and I hope you bust rocks when you get there.
All the jails.
But we have to understand that, again, let's be clear. They are about it. They are about by any means necessary. They are about their uselessness in society, giving it up for their version of liberty. And it again, we have the one thing on top of all this stand up and speak out and fight. We have to take care of each other. Because this is the Montgomery bus boycott. This is, they are legislating. We are not allowed to feed each other in line while we vote.
Yeah.
They are succumbing to every possible trope. They don't understand that we will make bag lunches at the church. You will stop at the church and pick up your voting slate and your bag, the church will be more than 150 feet from the poll.
Right.
And we will get in line with our baggie and our bottle of water.
And we're not sharing.
Now what?
Not sharing.
Now what? What you gonna do? You gonna tell me, the citizen, I can't drink water while I'm in the line? Possibly. So what I'm saying is every strategy under the sun, the best thing we came up with was, what's your vote plan? Mm-hmm. That was shit. I was like, damn. First I was like, what? Then I saw people getting in line with a vote plan, making TikToks about they folding chair and they cooler and they, I'm like, look,
you know what?
We have to stay about it. We have to stay about it.
That's where they done messed up. Because let me have a bag lunch and everybody got their cold piece of chicken from the church. Because cold fried chicken is like a whole delicacy. And your red soda and a folding chair. Think I won't turn on some Frankie Beverly and Mays and turn this whole boat line into a party? It's about to be on and popping all over the United States. They done fucked up because they don't understand how we like to gather in places. And if there's food and a little bit of beverage, it's on and popping. We about to be second line all across Louisiana. It's going to be great. I'm going to do the bus stop.
Joy, Chick-fil-A and Popeyes give you a thermal bag with your chicken sandwich in it.
Yes. Oh, my God.
So it always stays somewhat warm.
Yeah, but mama's fried chicken cold is a whole vibe unto itself. And if you're from Detroit, that red soda is Fago Red Pop.
Don't get in line with no red
Don't get my
soda.
Fanta
Have a bottle
strawberry,
of
as my
water.
girl
I mean,
Angela.
We ain't got time for no diabetic. We don't have no time for no diabetic moment. Bring
no,
your bottle.
I'm not trying to do it. I'm just telling you, my mama makes fried chicken with salt and pepper. Those are the only seasonings. And if you get it out the fridge the next day, híjole, you talk about some
Don't talk about
goodness. That thigh, that moist, dark meat thigh, just tenderly succumbing to my toothlessness. It is something to behold. But I will just say this. We have been on this particular ass for 46 minutes. I would like to raise a glass to a person who was an indelible part of my youth, especially my college years, the original freak of the industry. I'm just gonna start doing the bass line while Joy throws up the picture. Don't 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 don't. Humpty Hump, y'all. Shock G, a true original in hip hop. I don't know what's going on. We had DMX, we had Black Rob, and now we've got Shock G. I couldn't even believe the Shock G thing. Catherine was on her timeline today and started playing Humpty Hump. And then it was only after she realized that she had been playing Humpty Hump, because it just showed up on her timeline, she said, no! Shock G died? I was like, yes, isn't that why you were watching it? No, it was just on my timeline. I didn't understand. This one,
Yes, Harry.
I don't even I don't even understand. Yeah, when you think about Digital Underground, you think about the songs that Tupac, came out on, that made his really debut. It's Tupac and Shock G on stage together.
Right.
That's where he made his bones.
Same song. That's when Tupac got his
Right.
first verse on one of that. What is it? Tupac, go ahead and rock. Now clown around when I hang around when the underground girls used to clown, saying down when they come around, gas me away, they pass me, used to diss me, harass me, but now they ask me if they can kiss me, get some fame. People change, want to live your life how same song can't go wrong if you play the nice guy. And I'm gonna stop right there because this is about Shock G. But he discovered Tupac. He was a backup dancer for the Digital Underground doing. If you look at the Humpty Dance video,
right,
Tupac is in the back doing that, and he also was the piano man. So if you listen to what was it, Do What You Like, and they have that long piano interlude, that is Shock G playing the piano. He was a musician as well as a rapper.
He
was
was
only 57.
That's what I'm saying. And
That's
to be 52 and my A1C was a lot better. I just got my results today, y'all. And my second shot, y'all. Woo!
Nice.
Brother is living. Just enough for the city.
Oh my God. I knew you was gonna do it.
But this is just, in the middle of all of the negativity that we are facing on a daily basis, and when we got the Chauvin verdict, that was kind of a bright spot. And then not even within that same span of time, we lose an icon so young. And Black Rob, like the day before. It's tough to take. It is really tough to take.
We got to take care of each other, Black people.
We do need to take care of ourselves. That's right. Yeah, the one who put the satin on your panties. You said silk on the panties.
Never knew a hooker that could share me. That's my jam.
Round and round and round we go. Don't. Step up. I'm gonna. We can't use copyright. I'm not getting our show.
No, we ain't getting pulled down.
We ain't getting pulled off again in various territories around the world because we put a little 30-second music clip on it. Go Vibe, turn on your own Shock G tribute station on Pandora or whatever. and just listen. I mean, when you think about the grooves that these dudes put together and what
Freaks of the industry.
Freaks of the Industry is just, I mean, that was, understand, brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi, if you did not step to Freaks of the Industry during that era when that song came out, your chapter was whack. I'm gonna say it right now because that was like that was the bop. You get that neck rolling while you were bopping your cane. And of course, Freaks of the Industry, that just works with the Noops anyway. I'm just saying, so iconic, so influential, and to be one of those dudes who literally maintained the two personas throughout the whole thing. It was always Shock G and Humpty, like two separate people, like Andy Kaufman doing a character. And in the videos, and Humpty was just crazy, out there, loose, and Shock G was like the Stevan Urkel to, I mean, it was just... He was epic. He was epic.
And you know,
I called you fat. Look at me, I'm skinny. Never kept me from getting busy. That's right. Put your favorite Shock G lines in the comment, please. Joy gave us the entire Tupac verse. I was very impressed. I have to say, I was expecting you to stop any moment. Just like
I was like, she's definitely a youngin'.
She got bars.
She broke that shit down.
We did step many times to Freaks of the Industry. That's right, Harry. You don't have to tell me. Wow, Nikki said he had a degree in music theory from Brown. Stop it. I did not know that.
Don't underestimate Shock G.
I know.
And I remember hearing the story. I want to say it was on that hip hop. It was one of the hip hop shows. It was on Netflix when they were doing like the anthology of all the different hip hop from different places. I can't remember the name of the show though. But they talked to Digital Underground. They talked about Tupac dying, and they talked to Shock G, and he gave up the story of how Humpty Hump came to be. They were screwing around. It wasn't ever supposed to be a thing. They just messing around, and they were making funny voices, and then it was a demo, and then they liked it, and they were like, oh shit, we got to keep doing this. So on the way to like the venue, he was like, we got to come up with something. They stopped in a gas station and got like the funny glasses and the fake nose and something else. And he was like, all right, we're going to rock with this and we're going to see what happens. And it became such a big part of Digital Underground that's what it was going forward. Like Humpty Hump was the front man and he wasn't even real.
Right.
And it was great. And we loved it and we knew it. And we didn't give a damn because the concert was still fire. And we're cheering for him right now, as a matter of fact.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
We ain't showing nothing. You're allowed to we got 15 seconds.
So I'm going to mute her because this is how we be getting kicked off of Facebook.
Exactly. You can't be licensed. Your video has been suspended according to MCA Universal, who is claiming the copyright on your feed.
Oh, this is one of my jams.
We do not own this music. That's all you got to do.
We do not own the rights to this music. We just celebrate the life of the legend.
Yeah, we are celebrating, just like CNN is celebrating. ASCAP, just leave us alone, please.
Remember, the copyright is only when you put up somebody else's work. We are listening to our station in our living room.
That's right. My Humpty nose will tickle your rear. I'm a freak. I like
the girls with the boom. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. Crazy. Allow me to amaze thee. I'm ugly, but I just don't faze me.
Yeah.
You're dancing your feet, Anthony.
You're doing the hump. Licorice. Come here. How you take this?
Look at me, I'm skinny. Never stopped me
from getting busy.
He was body positive way back in the 90s.
All the way back with his skinny ass, his old jack spread ass.
This is Friday night that I don't think we'll get
Do the Humpty Hump. Do the Humpty Hump. Do the Humpty Hump. Do you know what I'm doing? The Humpty Hump.
This is from I Get Around. This is a damn too. All right, Sharon.
Okay, we got the whole vibe.
There it is.
1990, not prom 1990.
I didn't right.
He's in the house.
Did they say prom?
Prom, yeah.
You just
prom
aged us.
Well, that's not so bad. We were still banging to that song
for you and
on
me.
Campus.
That's bad.
Yeah, no, that's
prom
only
not campus.
No.
Oh wait, we got a correction. We got a correction.
Oh well, see, that's not Brown. Hillsbury
it's
Community College is
He was Brown. He was Brown.
Florida
Brown.
Community College.
Right. Yes, community college is a little bit more different.
God bless him. He was
I'm gonna make y'all feel real old. How about that song was 31 years ago?
Stop it.
This song is old enough to have kids in school.
Okay, first of all, Jason D. Hayes, allow me to banish thee because I don't need that remembrance. That just makes me feel extra. That's totally unnecessary. There's no. That I bind that 31 years in the name of Shock G's nose.
There you go.
Strike
just rolling it back.
I have, public disclosure. Whoever's trying to hack my Gmail account, you're caught. Ooh. So please cease and desist.
Busted me, baby.
Wow.
I'm being hacked and they know I'm busy.
With your
and
we're
being hacked.
Multitasking right now.
I have to see how y'all look on the screen. So I'm backdrop. Excuse me. Okay, that was Joy interrupting us. We're on delay. So your part was.
Anthony says, my knees ache after humping the Humpty Hump.
Right.
I was 27 at the time. Wow.
For our 30 seconds.
I'm telling you now. If I drop it like it's hot,
we understand, Paul. Believe me, we understand. I chair dance now for a living.
Yes, right. I can chair dance, but if I try to actually drop it like it's hot, y'all have to come get me. I'm gonna just say right now, I'm gonna still be wherever I dropped it because I can't.
My chair dance is still adults only, honey.
Oh, we gonna see what people are doing at homecoming. Can you imagine what homecoming is going to be like this year?
Yes,
as people are celebrating the iconic. It's gonna be stupid. No.
But I
live here.
I use a word means nothing like looped it. It's gonna be stupid. And looped it.
Oh, Jesus.
And looped
you still get your groove on, Paul. That's right. Go on ahead and get your groove on. I was 12 doing the hunt. Ooh, Nikki, darling Nikki, look at you.
See, Harry be knowing me. Drop it like it's lukewarm. That's what I do. I drop it I lower it like it's warm.
Drop it like it's tepid.
Right.
Drop it like it's Epsom salt. Ooh, we are so. I'm not gonna say we're old. We are seasoned.
We are seasoned.
We are dry aged.
I like that.
See, dry aged. Yes, Sharon. What are you? What fake sign language is you?
She's spelling out old.
Oh. I was like, Dlo. What the hell is Dlo?
That's my sorrow. You ain't know we fake.
Oh, the 100 is gonna have a field day. That's right. Yep. I can imagine they are. Mm-hmm. We have a couple of other things. We uploaded a lot of stuff. One of the things that really kind of shook me a little bit is the complete unraveling of Tucker Carlson and his nightly broadcasts where he has been cackling like a maniac. And you got to love the Fox folks for having exactly the right chyron for the right moment.
Hello. I loved every moment of this.
This is what racism looks like, Tucker.
Keep like that up for 10 more seconds.
There's your mirror.
If we get pulled, it's because of that.
No, the good, the Chad, and the ugly put this together. Tucker Carlson has lost it, y'all. He's legit lost it. He compared Derek Chauvin being convicted by a jury of his peers to a lynching, and he's still alive. Do you not know, sir, with your degree in history from that school you went to, what a lynching is? You aren't alive at the end of a lynching.
You know what? A lot of
they
people
are throwing words to the people that sent me my hate mail. Okay,
Yes.
they are trying to manipulate the weak-minded and give them all of the prowess to sacrifice their lives to make their point. And our tax dollars are paying for those idiots to sit and rot in jail. Garbage trash
juice. I'm here for it. I'm calling people garbage truck trash juice.
He's pure turd.
I know exactly what that is.
Oh yeah, no, you know what it is. And his daddy is garbage truck trash juice that is a week old because you got offset at Thanksgiving and you put your trash can a day late because or a day early.
Put that back up. I want to sit with the nastiness of that for a minute. Can y'all know what garbage truck trash juice is?
Yes.
That's like the nastiest shit on earth. That is Jason, you know, you the gangster of the week for that one. Jason gets my gangster. Garbage truck trash juice.
Jason is
wow.
that actually sounds like an upcoming album from Digital Underground.
In Miami.
In Miami in August. Ooh, that's some bad trash juice. That's some really bad.
That's some stank. That's some stank.
GBTJ, y'all.
Put some stank on it.
GBTJ.
You know, I want to touch on this. Like, you know, Alvin's like, we need to put a rope around his neck and let him hang. That's a hanging.
Take that down.
And wait, but here's the thing: that is a hanging. That is not a lynching. A lynching is castration, burning alive, mutilation, torture for hours before death, and finally stringing up a body on a tree. They didn't necessarily die as they were hung. They were put on display to put fear and torture and psychological torture into the people that would see it happen. Most of them were castrated and burned alive. And then the people who watched it happen would fight over the body to pull apart pieces of bone, pieces of cooked organs.
And that was just satire. That was only satire.
I know, but I want people to know what a lynching is. So anybody that's watching the show, especially our white allies that are watching the show, when you hear people in your circle, because I know you will, when you hear people in your circle talk about, oh, he was just being lynched was he castrated? Was he set on fire?
Nope.
Was he beaten to death and then hung? Was he drugged by a vehicle or horses, depending on the time period? Was he fed his own genitals while children watched? Because if not, he wasn't lynched. He was just ridiculed. Get your shit straight.
Not even. He wasn't
using that cavalierly.
He wasn't even ridiculed. He was convicted through a due process trial. He was indicted. Mm-hmm. He was out on bail until it was time for the trial, chilling, kicking it, assisting in his own defense, exercise his Fifth Amendment right to not impugn himself on the stand, and had his lawyer up there professionally representing him, using all the tricks in the book, trying to slander George Floyd, trying to say all these foolishness and lies. And at the end of the day, the 12 jurors, many of whom were his 6F compatriots, looked at his dead-eye stared ass and said, you guilty.
Right.
You guilty. And you guilty. A person who is lynched by definition gets none of that due process. None of that. Because there is no chance for that. And in the instance of Emmett Till, an all 6F jury sat there and let them fools go free.
Yeah.
And
knowing that they did it.
Knowing that they did it, sitting there sipping Cokes in interviews talking about, yeah, we did it, but, you know, we've been exonerated and they can't just double jeopardy.
Right.
That's a lynching. That's a lynching. Because Emmett Till didn't kill nary no one.
He didn't even do what he was accused of.
Didn't even do what he was accused of.
And you know what? If you go to the lynching museum, the big display that they have with all the different names on the blocks, like 400 names on each block and like so many hundreds of blocks. So you understand exactly how many people got lynched. A lot of them list the offense for which they were murdered. And it's, looked at a white woman. That comes up a lot.
A lot.
Looked at a white woman, eyeballing, talk back, sass somebody, all kind of things. These were all murderable offenses, apparently, according to white people, because that's who was doing the murdering. And so it's not a stretch to think that they still believe sassing a white woman, talking back, reckless eyeballing are still killable offenses, because they say that in their little tweets and stuff all the time, every day. Oh, he deserved to die because he stole some cigarettes. That's a murderable offense if you're Black. And I don't think that they've ever understood that they have not gotten out of that mindset. They don't see us as equal. They see us as inconvenient. And if you can get rid of more of us, then so be it.
Where is the counterfeit $20 bill? Where is it? And was it even counterfeit? They showed, there was some footage that was released. I think it happened in 2020, but the footage finally got out. There was a Black woman who was at a beauty supply store owned by an Asian couple. Mm-hmm. And he accused her of stealing eyelashes worth $3.99. And for the offense of possibly, because it wasn't even confirmed, or it was confirmed rather that she didn't even have the damn eyelashes, he got her in a chokehold on the ground for $3.99.
Killable offense.
What makes you think that's okay? But hitting a police officer in the head with a hammer that the police officer used to try to free himself from your speeding truck, and you grab a hold of the hammer, hit him, he required 8 staples on his face.
But that dude went home because we want to make sure that all of the people go home. And that's the thing. They want to make sure that all of the people go home. They still haven't put us in the people category.
And let's be clear. That dude had 2 charges. Assault and I think eluding arrest or whatever. No attempted vehicular manslaughter times 2, because he hit 2 police cars. 2 police cars. And this is in the midst of the other video of the dude who had a handgun visible on his seat. 3, 4, 5 officers pleading, "Sir, please just put the handgun down." "I will not. You are threatening me. You are violating my rights. I have rights. You put your gun down." And then he sped off. Not one shot fired.
Right. Meanwhile, a Black man can say, "Can you tell me why I'm being stopped? Stop resisting. Stop." Pop, pop, pop,
pepper
pop,
spray.
Pop, pop. Yeah. Pepper spray. Pepper spray. A member of the U.S. military. Oh, but I thought we was all support the troops, though. What happened to that?
Officer of the U.S. military. Because he said, "What are you, a corpsman?" No, I'm a lieutenant." And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, wait a minute. He said he's a lieutenant. So this needs
Tell me what I'm going to do for you, bro. I'm
right. I don't want your career to get damaged. Oh, it's not my career, bro.
No.
Officer Gutierrez.
Right. Because once again, let's not forget, blue is the new black. I got something else I want to show real quick is as we talk about this, because I can get really, really agitated by the work that I do every day and seeing it only take, a micron of a step forward in everything that needs to happen. But I do my part trying to reach people every way. But I love this because I saw this on the internet. Well, we saw this on the internet. And of course, you got your, Jacob over here on the left. Remember that period in American history when people were crushed by the government and marched off to camps? Neither do I. This is because we have the Second Amendment. And then you got Kasim over here like Japanese concentration camps, Trail of Tears, slavery and slave catchers. You private prison, you literally forgot all of American history. What you meant to say is you don't remember when white people were put in camps. You check your racism. I love that with all my heart because this is, I mean, you got to take it to him. And he didn't say anything out of pocket. He didn't call him names. He didn't tell him he was stupid. He didn't say F Trump or anything. He just said, you forget all of American history. And this is why they resist putting things like the 1619 Project into school curriculum. You build more people that say, no, that wasn't how that happened. Matter of fact, my ancestors been trash and I'm trying to be better. You know, that's what they don't want, because they lose what little tenuous hold they have. Remember, white people are only the majority in 3 places: Australia, the UK, and America. And those places don't even make up the population of China. So they lose
not at all
here, and it's a wrap. You know,
people. I saw a post. There was, and this was something. Just getting into pop culture, and I'm about to step away, sisters. You all have your fun, but this dude was literally on a pop culture thread talking about this new movie that features a diverse cast in space. Now, it's set in the future, and how dare they have a Korean officer, and how dare they have a black man, and how dare they have a woman who is the head of the group, and they had minorities in space, and when is a woman, da-da-da-da-da. It's like, bro, you do understand that literally 59% of the population of the planet is Asian or African. 59%. And that doesn't even include the Latinos who also are of Indian heritage or you know, whatever.
African diaspora, yeah.
Exactly. That's not. Do you understand that the vast majority of people in Brazil is black?
Black as hell.
Black as hell.
Tom, you again. I just want to keep reminding my brothers and sisters. A white woman ran up on the sidewalk and knocked somebody over. Then she went a few blocks over and knocked over this little girl. And the police said, why did you do that? Because the girl was Mexican. She declared a hate crime, transparent as
hell,
and is going to jail and living in jail on our tax dollars. And she will be in jail for the rest of her life because it was an official hate crime.
That's good.
And thank God they lived, but you're asking for rational behavior. But before you go, next week or whenever the State of the Union is, sitting behind the president, my Uncle Joe, will be Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and Madam Vice President
Kamala Harris. That's right.
So that picture will be burning in everyone's living room.
We might need to do a live blog of SOTU.
The response.
We need to probably live blog that.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
I'm going to dip out, but I will say this. We said that we weren't going to do spoilers because the show just dropped. If you haven't watched the final episode, the finale, season 1 finale, because I know it's going to be a season 2 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you must.
I'm going to binge for
You must.
It is so good.
You must do it because it is everything. And there's a specific scene. I'm not going to mention it, but Joy, all I have to say is bronze. And to me, every sequence with that character in this episode was the
Yeah. You know, because I'm a real G. You know, I don't be crying on TV shows, but they almost got a little thug tear off me with this last one. I was like,
So you guys have to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
It's beautiful.
The new season of Discovery is coming, and she is everything. And
black people are everywhere.
Yeah, it was a dope.
Well, and I'm
we in space. We women in space. We super soldiers and everything.
I'm gonna put a plug in for Queen Sugar, and if y'all didn't binge Queen Sugar this season, you're missing out. And yes, you will fight back your tears. And black cinematography is real. And Queen Sugar brought 2020 to 2021 to full circle, and it was a beautiful season.
And the brutes, murder the brutes. Is that
Destroy all the brutes?
Destroy all the brutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, watch that too. I have to run, y'all. I love you, Sharpies. I love you, Joy. I love you, Sharon. Actually, I should say I love you, Sharon. I love you, Joy. I don't know you long enough, Joy, like that.
Right.
Cool.
Forever.
Cool. I mean, I'm just saying.
You know,
I dig you.
On the whole show.
Yeah, I can't. I can't.
We'll close it out.
Oh, wow. I done slid you
Love
up here.
you,
I'll make you big. Bye, Sharon.
Honey, I'm good. I'm good.
You big now.
My mom and daddy hugged me as a child. I'm good.
That's right. Bye.
Let's side by side, Sarah.
So I'm gonna tell you, hey, side by side.
I don't like my big face.
There you go. Right for you. I got one more meme I'm gonna share just because, you know, I have been on one this week. If you have been following my Facebook page or my LinkedIn page, you will know I had time today and I choose violence. And I have been going for anybody who wants to come for me. You what? Say what now? I don't care who you are. I don't care how we know each other. I don't care what you've been through. Come on my page saying something stupid. I'm coming for that ass. And I've been there all day, all week, all month. And I'm going to keep going because I've had it. I've absolutely had it.
And I have been all about love all week. As anybody saw my page today, if you just needed to know, you are loved. You are loved. I love y'all, Sharpies. Give yourself a self hug. Sarah, I'll give you. I'm throwing my hug to you. We need love.
So, but still understand, I'm coming for you. If you come on my page with some
nonsense, I'll come for you, and then I'm gonna give you a hug behind it.
I'm gonna come at you like this verdict came at Derek Chauvin.
That was so funny.
I love this.
I miss on giving. You know, again, we haven't shown that enough. That scene does not get shown enough. Mm-hmm. I needed that
group hug for everyone. Hug. But still, though, don't start none. Won't be none. Of course. I will keep the peace until you break my peace, and then I'm gonna break a foot off in your ass. Just let all your friends know, because my Facebook page is public. They come on my page. I'm a verbal.
The minute you hear a siren, I just want y'all to go like this. That's all. Nothing in your hand.
Yeah. But no, I'm a verbal assassin. Words are my weapons. Come on my page. I will throw every vocabulary word I ever heard at you, make you wonder how stupid you really are. That's my specialty. I'm warning you now. Know that. Chuck is better than me, but I ain't far. So anyway.
Now Chuck needed tonight off because Chuck Joy is always off the chain, but Chuck, you would have seen Angry Black Man tonight.
Yeah.
So
Chuck is serious. And I'm glad he's with his friends. Oh, you know what?
I'm trying to get off my blood pressure med too, so I feel you.
I wanted to make sure, because I saw it earlier, Sadita Graves, who is a friend of the show. Sadita, happy birthday. Shout out from Steel Sharp as Steel. You're probably out celebrating your birthday right now, but if you catch this show on the
watch it in the morning.
Yes, just know, happy birthday, friend. All right, with that, I think, is there anything else that you'd like to add to this little podcast?
I'm Sharon Lippman Hicks.
And I am Joy Stevens. And you have been watching Steel Sharp as Steel.